Hey gang, this is the Roaming Prepper. So, have you gotten your bug out book together yet? Yeah, you heard me, bug out book. You're probably wondering if I was drinking, but no, I am not. Dead serious, and it can be very important in a disaster. We found that out the hard way. I'll be right back, and we're going to discuss what I'm talking about. So, what exactly am I talking about a bug out book? Well, it's pretty simple. The purpose of a bug out book is to consolidate all of your important papers in a single or maybe a couple of binders. So in the event you are forced to bug out, you don't have to go around the house searching for where the hell I put the insurance papers, do we have copies of our passports, etc., etc. After a hurricane, this was years ago, afterward we wanted to make a filing to get an insurance claim, and we could not find the paperwork. It took us 2 days to find the paperwork, and after that I said, oh heck no. So I actually, at the time, created 3 books. One is the insurance book, and yeah, this may look very first grader. In an emergency, your fine motor skills tend to deteriorate. We all know that, anyone who's been paying attention to preparedness and stress training. So I didn't want to have to sit there and read a lot of fine print. Insurance book, and in this book is all our insurance. It's copies of our homeowner's insurance, copies of our auto insurance, the main contract, as well as copies of those cards. Now, you can save them on the cloud, you can save them on your phone, but certain scenarios, for instance, the grid down we just had in Texas here in 2021, you may not have internet. The towers may be down, you may not access it. If you want to go into a more hypothetical situation, EMPs will fry electronics. Paperwork is unaffected generally by an EMP, unless the nuke lands on your city, in which case that's a whole nother problem. But you know, things like your flood claims handbook, even if you don't have the actual contract, you have the handbook, you can, once you're in a safe place, you can try to reach out to the 1-800 number and get the information you need, start the claim process. They can also help you get to your insurance company if need be. So the most important book probably to start with is the insurance book. Again, homeowner's insurance, any other business insurance, life insurance copies if it's applicable, and if it's not through your company where they provide you a different document, that kind of stuff should all be in here. It also, if there's, God forbid, I pass away, I die in an accident, my wife passes away, whatever, if there's a sudden death, the family's not digging through all your files. They can go here and get started taking care of family business. So it's not just for a big shit hit the fan, it's for a personal shit hit the fan. It can be for a personal emergency. Besides that bug out book, and eventually I'll consolidate these, I also had the personal papers book. Now, the reason I broke it into 3 is because it was myself, my wife, and we had 3 kids who then became 3 young adults. And I had social security cards and driver's permits, etc. As the kids moved out, and this is another benefit of this, I literally pulled their entire little packet from these books and handed it to them and say, you are now an adult, you're moving out, you're getting your first place, your first job, here you go. Now you have your important documents. And I kid you not, every single one of my kids did this exactly in one form or another. Now the personal papers book has exactly that. Marriage licenses, birth certificates, social security cards, and I have photocopies of driver's licenses and other such documents. Obviously, my original driver's license is in my wallet when I'm driving. But this has the personal papers. And then I have another one called the General Family Book. And this one's kind of a hodgepodge. Eventually, I'll probably rename it. But the General Family Book has things like any stock certificates you may have. It can also have, if you have a family credit card, like you and the spouse or your family say, okay, this is the credit card for emergencies, it can go in here. If you want to put some emergency cash, you can do that. You can also, if you want to get creative, you can put silver coins or gold coins in the little coin holders. In order to keep everything organized, what I'll do is I'll use sheet protectors. And that way everything's sheet. As you can see in here, I actually, at some point in the past, burned a CD of these very documents. This CD is probably out of date, but I also have, I think in the front, or maybe not. In one of these, I have a USB card or a USB stick, the little thing, and I have digital copies of all of this in a USB in one of these books. In general, I think a lot of preppers would agree, bug in as long as you can until you have to bug out. As a former responder, and I think a lot of former responders or current first responders would agree, the less civilians that are on the road unnecessarily, the easier it is for the rest of us to do the job. But at some point you get flooded out, fire, tornado, something happens and you may have to leave. You can literally go to your safe or your secure place, grab these, and get out the door. In a nutshell, that is a bug out book. Now actually, again, I have 3 bug out books. But this is a bit of a legacy thing. I'm going to eventually consolidate them into 2 or even maybe 1 big binder. But in an emergency, if I'm traveling, again, I'm the roaming prepper. If I'm somewhere else, something goes down at home, my wife can run to the safe, she can grab the books, and she can start making phone calls immediately. If one of my sons is married, if something happens, his wife or him can run, grab the book, and start making phone calls, getting themselves organized. Guys, the less things you have to worry about during an emergency or a disaster, the better off you're going to be. And it's easy to make it clear, organize it in advance, so you don't have to freak out. Now, I'm pretty sure not everything I need is in here, but it's a good start. So that's it for the bug out book. This is the Roaming Prepper. If you liked what I did today, please like and subscribe. I enjoy having new people to interact with. For those of you who are traveling like I often do, Godspeed in your travels. And to everyone else, be good, be safe, pay attention, and be ready for what may come up. And as always, try to help somebody else out if you can. Take care of yourself, and I'll see you next time.